Hello and welcome to FoxNews.com. I'm Laura Engel, and we are here today to talk about a very interesting subject. Should community college be free? If you're sitting there thinking, yes, this is a good idea, we've got the expert to talk to. First, we want to tell you a little bit about this story. In a State of the State last week, Tennessee Governor Bill Haslam announced a proposal to create an endowment from the Tennessee Education Lottery to cover tuition and fees for community and technical colleges for all graduating high school seniors in the state. So the question is this something that other states should consider? We have our expert here to weigh in on this, David Boehm, who's the Senior Vice President of Government Relations of the American Association of Community Colleges, joining us from our D.C. Bureau. Thank you so much for joining us, David.
Pleasure to be here, Laura.
All right. So a very interesting subject in the Education Forum. What do you think about the governor's plan to cover these tuition fees for community and technical colleges for graduating high school seniors?
Well, we think it's a very exciting idea, and anything that opens the door of community college a little bit wider to more of our citizens is something that we are very enthusiastic about. The governor's proposal is designed to make the tuition free for any student who graduates from high school, who enrolls full-time, who does well academically, and who stays in school. So there's a little bit of asking something from the student as well as giving the students a ability to not pay any tuition.
Now, this is a proposal right now. This is also something that was looked at before in years past, correct?
That is correct. Yes, it's been an idea that's been around in different versions in previous times. And a much longer time ago, the state of California actually had free tuition at community college for all of its citizens.
Now, some people are saying that this is a wonderful idea and this is a plan towards a more educated workforce. Others are saying this plan discourages enrollment from the state's top universities and drains Tennessee Education Lottery Fund. What do you say to that?
Well, first of all, the truth is that we wish there was enough money to do everything that we'd like to do for everybody, but politics is the process of setting priorities, really. And in this case, we believe that because community colleges serve the neediest students in higher education, the students who are the least likely to attend a college if they don't go to a community college, that placing that priority on community colleges is appropriate and a very good idea. And also, hopefully, for students who begin at a community college, do their first 2 years of higher education at one of these local institutions, that they'll then have the opportunity to go on to a 4-year college and then get their baccalaureate degree. And many community college students are able to do that.
And, you know, as we move forward in the coming years, some people are looking, we're actually looking at that in another angle here at Fox News, a story I've been working on that we're going to be bringing to our viewers about medical school being shaved down and trying to compact more education into fewer years. Is this really a wave of the future?
Well, I do think that as our economy gets more complicated and people need to access higher education more frequently than ever before, and more people need to go to higher education, that we are going to see an increasing emphasis on colleges in providing education in forms that work not just for your traditional aged 18 to 22-year-old college student, but for people who are out in the workforce who've maybe already gotten some education, but who need further education in order to keep their job or get a better job or just be able to support their families in a better fashion. So we're seeing an immense, really it's not an overstatement to call it a revolution in higher education, where with the ability to deliver college courses through online means and in different modes, that we're seeing more and more people accessing higher education, and we firmly believe that the demand for this is going to increase over time.
You make some great points. Certainly there is, as we talk about the good side of this, there are people, the detractors, who say not such a good idea. I want to read you a quote and then get your thoughts on this. The detractors of the proposal, including Tennessee Representative Steve Cohen, argue it's a costly plan that could discourage enrollment from the state's top universities, as we mentioned at the top. Cohen says that, and he was instrumental in developing the state's Hope Scholarship program, and he had this to say about the proposal. Over the last 10 years, the Hope Scholarship program that I worked for 20 years ago, 20 years as a state senator to create, has been an unparalleled success. But the governor's promise actually cuts funding from high-achieving students beginning the 4-year degree programs. How do you respond to that?
Well, setting aside what the HOPE program has done in Tennessee, and I certainly, I'm not an expert on that, but I imagine that it has succeeded in achieving many of its goals. But one of the things that we think is so important about Governor Haslam's proposal is that he's trying to make the Tennessee citizens better educated. He set a goal of ensuring that 55% of all of the Tennesseans achieve some kind of a post-secondary education. Now, that may not be a 4-year degree that the representative is talking about there, but many of the jobs in our economy these days don't require a 4-year degree. An associate's degree, a 2-year degree, or even in some cases a 1-year certificate in something like information technology or in an allied health profession give people very good jobs. And we think that an overemphasis on the baccalaureate degree, as important as that degree can be for many people, is a mistake because, again, there are many opportunities for people who receive a community college education. And then, as I said a moment ago, if the students like the education that they've received, want to continue on in education, they can go on to a 4-year institution, and they will have saved themselves money by the lower tuition that community colleges provide, and they also will have saved the state money because it costs the state less to educate students attending community colleges than it does to attend these 4-year institutions.
All right. Well, I've got to leave it there, but David Boehm, thank you so much for your perspective. Certainly a very important story to watch as we move forward. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Laura.
Thank you. I'm Laura Ingle. Thanks for watching FoxNews.com.